Wednesday, June 22nd. Jacob blesses his sons. Read Genesis 49, 1-28. What is the spiritual significance of Jacob's blessings on his sons? Well, beyond the prophecies concerning the immediate history of the tribes of Israel, Jacob sees the Messiah and the ultimate hope of salvation. This hope already is indicated in Jacob's opening words that use the expression "in the last days," Genesis 49:1. It's a technical expression that refers to the coming of the Messiah King, Isaiah 2:2, Daniel 10:14. The text then goes through the future line of each of these men. These are not predestinated fates, as if God willed that each of these would face what they faced. Rather, they are expressions of what their characters and the characters of their children would bring about. God's knowing, for instance, that someone will kill an innocent man is radically different than God's having willed that the killer do it. Genesis 49, 8-12 states Judah's blessing, and it says, "As for you, Judah, your brothers will praise you. Your hand will be on the neck of your enemies. The sons of your father will bow down before you. Judah is a lion cub. From the prey, my son, you will certainly go up. He has crouched down and stretched himself out like a lion, and like a lion, who dares rouse him? The scepter will not depart from Judah, neither the commander's staff from between his feet, until Shiloh comes, and to him the obedience of the peoples belong. Tying his donkey to a vine, and his donkey's colt to a choice vine, he will wash his clothing in wine, and his garment in the blood of grapes. Dark red are his eyes from wine, and his teeth are white from milk." The question is, what prophecy is given here, and why is it important? Over and above human free will, God does know the future, and he had arranged that it would be through Judah that the Messiah would come. Judah, who is represented by a lion, refers to royalty and praise. Judah will not only produce King David, but also the Shiloh, that is, the one who will bring shalom, peace. To him shall be the obedience of the people. The Jews have long seen this as a messianic prophecy pointing to the coming Messiah, and Christians too have seen this text as pointing to Jesus. Genesis 49:10 says, "Unto him shall the gathering of the people be," which is perhaps a precursor to the New Testament promise of Philippians 2:10 that at the name of Jesus every knee should bow. As Ellen G. White wrote in the book Patriarchs and Prophets, page 236, she says, "The lion, king of the forest, is a fitting symbol of this tribe, from which came David and the son of David, Shiloh, the true lion of the tribe of Judah, to whom all powers shall finally bow, and all nations render homage." Why should we be rendering homage to Jesus now, even before all nations will do it? From the book Patriarchs and Prophets, page 237, it says, "Jacob had ever been a man of deep and ardent affection. His love for his sons was strong and tender, and his dying testimony to them was not the utterance of partiality or resentment. He had forgiven them all, and he loved them to the last. His paternal tenderness would have found expression only in words of encouragement and hope, but the power of God rested upon him, and under the influence of inspiration he was constrained to declare the truth, however painful. The last blessings pronounced, Jacob repeated the charge concerning his burial place. "I am to be gathered unto my people. Bury me with my fathers, and the cave that is in the field of Machpelah. There they buried Abraham and Sarah his wife. There they buried Isaac and Rebekah his wife, and there I buried Leah. Thus the last act of his life was to manifest his faith in God's promise. From the book Testimonies for the Church, Volume 9, pages 15 to 16, it says, "Not all in this world have taken sides with the enemy against God. Not all have become disloyal. There are a faithful few who are true to God, for John writes in Revelation 14:12, "Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus." Soon the battle will be waged fiercely between those who serve God and those who serve him not. Soon everything that can be shaken will be shaken, and those things that cannot be shaken may remain. God's tried and tested people will find their power in the sign spoken of in Exodus 31:12-18. They are to take their stand on the living word. It is written. This is the only foundation upon which they can stand securely. Those who have broken their covenant with God will in that day be without God and without hope. The worshippers of God will be especially distinguished by the regard for the fourth commandment, since this is the sign of God's creative power and the witness to his claim upon man's reverence and homage. God bless.